Life Audio.
Today on Talk About That, John wonders if trees are weaker in the South and prepares for Y2K with his dad. Meanwhile, I ponder getting a taser and think Groucho Marx would have loved the new 6'7" craze. Plus a conversation about the sins that upset humans the most and whether they're the ones God is focused on. Today's episode is not sponsored by spaghetti sauce, staining your Tupperware containers since 1946.
Well, we hope you're safe out there in the winter storms, but Jonnie, we're in here and talk about that, ready to bring the relief people need if they've been stuck indoors for days.
Not like real relief.
No.
Like a lineman could. I think it's interesting that you have linemen who are like saving your electricity and linemen who are like football players who protect the quarterback.
I've never heard the person doing the electrical lines referred to as linemen.
Yeah, linemen. Like there's a big lineman. All the linemen are working like 18-hour shifts now.
Wow.
And they're just having a sandwich in their truck, and they get back out there and they do more because all these trees have iced over and they fell over on the power lines.
I had someone today ask me, their husband was from Michigan, and she was so mad, and she was like, are all the trees down here just weaker?
Huh.
Like everyone's trees in the South are just bent over, and like we don't remember the trees in Michigan doing that all the time.
She's mad at the tree? She's blaming the trees?
She had lost electricity for like 4 days, and she has little kids. She's like, what is wrong with y'all's trees? Why can't the trees just not be so weak? They're exploding around here.
Yeah, if I put 1,000 pounds of ice on your back, I bet you'd huddle over.
Well, but there's ice all up north.
Yeah.
We need to ask our northern listeners.
This is different, though. Maybe it is true, like that the trees had it too good for too long. These trees aren't ready for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. They're just little wimps.
And part of it's the wind, because you get the weight, and then the wind comes through, and it just does the final
Man, and
push.
Isn't that just like
Some
us?
of y'all are ready for the ice, but you ain't ready for the wind.
You built your house on ice instead of the rock. Wait.
Hold on.
The rock was icy.
Yes.
So you dug in the sand. I don't know. What had happened is that freezing rain coated every branch. I will say this. It looks like the first Narnia movie.
It is crazy pretty.
It's
like when
so
the
beautiful.
sun shines right through it, it's like diamonds in the trees.
And every branch is like its own little work of art, just covered in
And then you
ice.
pan back, and that shiny branch is laying across the power line, and there's a family huddled in with no
inside.
heat. But the first scene, very pretty.
Very pretty.
Yeah. Well, you had I was so excited for you because I was like, John's going to get to use this generator.
I did get
He gets to be a real man. And then your power came on all too soon.
I used it for about, I'd say, 15 hours.
Oh, you didn't even get a full day out of it.
It went out at like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
But I had it ready.
But you were like so glad because you'd bought it like 4 days before, right? And you were like, it's coming this time.
Let me tell you something. It took some assembly.
I gave you a little advice. I said, don't do that. Don't let this happen again. Go spend the money and get one. And then you sent me a photo later that day, and you were like, I did it.
I did.
It was like, whatever, $1,000 or something. More? What'd you spend?
I don't want to say.
Why?
It was more expensive than I thought it was. Should have been. The deal, I got it at Harbor Freight.
Take it back.
So, no.
No, come on. You wouldn't do that. That's true.
But
is anybody looking for a generator? Well, you're going to need it again.
I got the inverter, which is quieter and safer than the generator.
Yeah, because there's something about putting too much like backflow into the line or something. It's dangerous for the linemen.
Yeah.
Because they talk about it.
Yeah.
People, if everybody's using generators, there's something you're supposed to do to keep it from sending a surge into the...
I wish I knew more about electricity.
I know.
I just say things. Although this time I did have to go through now and write down all the wattage from each of the things I was using to make sure it didn't pass the load. So that was kind of fun.
Some of y'all need to share the load over here. By the way, John, if you'd like to share the load on the show and become a patron, how would you do that?
You got to talkaboutthatpodcast.com.
Click on the upper right-hand link. You get ad-free content.
Content?
We love our patrons. And thanks for being a supporter of the show. And if you're just a listener, that's fine too. That's a support in its own way.
Yeah.
If you want to send us a note, send an email to hello@talkaboutthatpodcast.com.
Yeah, we love getting notes.
We love a good note.
We read them quite often.
We do. People have been nice.
Yeah, it was on, and I got one of those parabolic heaters.
Okay.
That looks like a fan.
Yeah.
But it's a metal plate, but it doesn't blow.
Oh, did it oscillate at all?
It does oscillate.
Yeah.
An oscillating parabolic heater.
Uh-huh. It's got the big, satellite dish thing.
Yeah, and it is bright.
Uh-huh.
And so I put that up in my mom's room. And then I put a little fan in front of it because it did need some air circulation to get the heat out there.
Yeah.
She was great up there.
Yeah.
But I have wires, and I still, by the way, I've not taken them down. I have cords gaff taped all over the floor safely, so they're not tripping hazards.
Okay.
Across the kitchen, across wherever, and they're run through the house now. So if it happens again, because it's still not above freezing.
Right.
So if something happens again, I'm ready. I mean, the generator's still out there.
Our buddy Brian Bates lives in, I think, Belmead, West Nashville, and he hasn't. I didn't know he's been without power for 4 days. So I see a video from him this morning. He's just like, "Yeah, we're still without power. We've been in a hotel, and now we're moving into Nate's house." So he's moved over to Nate Bargatze's house.
Wow.
So like he's staying with Nate, and which that's got to be fun. I think Nate's not there. Nate's in L.A., so he's basically staying. And Nate has a guest house, so I think he might be at Nate's guest house. But all that said, I was like, you could have stayed. My house has been empty.
Yeah.
He could have just moved into, but I don't know if you can get to Lebanon. He couldn't have got all the way to Lebanon from where he's at, but that's fine.
It was sketchy. By the way, it's still kind of sketchy. They just called school for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't take much, though.
Well,
because, I mean, you have people in far-flung areas. You have to be able to get everybody in. So if everybody's not able to make it, you can't just say, we're in.
Yeah.
You got to wait till it's totally clear.
We called church tonight for the kids.
Okay.
So, because the parking lot here.
I didn't know y'all had youth group still on Wednesdays.
When else would you have it, Jonnie?
I don't know.
Do you think the rules of the universe have changed?
No. We did Sunday night forever when you were a youth pastor. Didn't you do Sunday night?
In Alcoa?
Yeah, but that was...
Jonnie,
were you a youth pastor then?
That was like 27 years ago.
Well, what's different?
A lot's changed in 27
Your philosophy?
years.
The days of the week?
I do think about how I would do it differently now. Like I have no idea.
You just wouldn't do it.
I mean, what do you do?
Would you get into youth ministry if you had to do it right now?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to be a calling.
Scared. Yeah.
Because it's I don't know, there is that feeling of, I would love to create, and that's what our youth pastors do so well. I would love to create a place of belonging for kids right now because I know that's what they're missing. They always have.
Sure.
But kids feel like they belong less now than they ever have before because of the isolation factor of social media and the lack of interpersonal communication skills because of it, because they're only used to communicating online.
Yeah.
So creating that place would be fun.
I was thinking today about 6'7", that whole phenomenon, about how kids are like waiting for someone to accidentally say 6'7" so they can and freak out, and nobody knows what it means, including them. And I was thinking, I grew up, I've talked about it on the pod, but I grew up watching Nick at Night. And Nick at Night back then was old shows. They only had rights to they had some children's shows, for teenagers or for 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds. But then they had no programming for after midnight. It was just go dark. And so they put from midnight to 10 a.m. they would put on old properties that they had bought, like George Burns, Gracie Allen, the Jack Benny Show. And one of the shows they did was You Bet Your Life, which was Groucho Marx. And Groucho Marx, it was like a game show. And they'd have people on. This is the 1940s, I think. And so I'm watching. I'm a 14-year-old watching these maybe 11 or 12, watching these black and white shows with these old guys in suits making the oldest jokes. But it really informed my sense of comedy. But one of the things I thought about 6'7" was Groucho Marx would have the word of the day. That if somebody accidentally said it, this bird. Well, he would tell the audience beforehand. This little bird would come down from the ceiling on like a puppet bird.
Yeah.
And it would have the word of the day would be like tomatoes or whatever. And then it would go back to the rafters. And then if somebody accidentally said tomatoes or said it in just one of their interviews or whatever, or in their answer or whatever, the bird, it would come down and people would freak out. And I think the person would win money, or I don't know how it would work. But I think 6'7" is the word of the day. It's a little Easter egg. Groucho Marx would be proud.
I just wrote about it in a book with a guy because he talks about it. It is a culture belonging thing for that generation that they're trying to have something that the older generation can't.
Yeah. And the minute the reason it's starting to die is older people are doing it, and it becomes immediately uncool.
It's been
Dad,
exposed
no, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. No, I don't do the 6'7" thing. I just don't. Just not go. I don't try to play. Now I'll listen to the same music with her. I'll listen to her music.
But part of that's you just want to know if it's awful, right? You want to know if
it's
something she shouldn't be listening to.
You know what?
I mean, perverse or something.
I never made a big deal about music. I'm just because everything out there is sexual, and I'm just I'll say, wow, that was really sexual, or whatever. Man, it had a great beat.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. Yeah.
She was reading to me the apology from Kanye West.
Oh.
Have you read the apology?
No, I mean, I knew that he's kind of off the rails now with the Nazism and the
Well, that's the
Heil
thing. She was
Hitler.
like, she really wanted me to hear it.
Yeah.
And I really didn't want to hear it.
Because she's a Kanye person?
No.
Oh.
But it's just fascinating. It's just in the news
Yeah.
or in their world, in the streams.
Yeah.
And I was just like, she's like, yeah, he put out his apology. I was like, well, that's great. She was like, but it's right here. I have it right here. And I go, that's awesome.
She's like his press secretary now?
And she just wants to know what I would think about it.
Uh-huh.
But I was actually fascinated. My wife speculates that probably not only did some of their press people write it, but also AI.
AI, yeah.
But he
She was
did
like,
it.
more sincere, send. And then like he keeps adapting it.
He did. I will say, when I really, it's like, yeah, please read it to me. I'd love to hear it.
Uh-huh.
When I finally did, the thoughts on mental health and bipolar disorder were really fascinating.
Yeah.
And he totally owned it. He was just like, the thing he said was, when you're in a manic state, you don't know that you're in a manic state.
Uh-huh.
And so everything you're saying feels
Yeah.
right and real to you, and you think, what is wrong with everybody else? And the more they tell you something's wrong with you, the less inclined you are to believe it.
Right, because you get paranoid that they're just trying
Yeah.
to control you or whatever.
So he goes into the Hitler stuff and the other things, and he's like, yeah, I don't, he apologized to Jewish people and apologized. He's like, I don't, I can't believe I sold swastika t-shirts and everything, like,
Crazy.
but I'm being treated now.
The fact that they sold out is even scarier.
That's the
though.
scary part. People who don't have bipolar disorder
Yeah.
bought them. That's the scary part of influence, I think.
Yeah.
Is
They're like, hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
This guy said it's okay. Finally. You're
well,
like,
and that's sort of like that's why I didn't want to hear it in some ways. It's like, I don't want to give energy
yeah.
to things. But then I had that thought of like, what do we really want from people?
Right.
We want
You
them to repent. We
yeah,
want them
you
to say
give
they
them-
were wrong. And
you
here's a
give
guy
them-
trying to say he's wrong. So
yeah,
maybe I should
I do
listen.
think that that's true. Like if somebody's into extremism, which we have a lot of people in the country that are into extremism right now, and you give them zero off-ramp to a normal life, you're just driving them further into the extremism.
Right.
If you just like, nope, you're forever dead to me
Yeah.
because of this belief. It's like, well, now they just are going to be more deeply entrenched.
Right. It's one of those, Andrew's really good at that. He'll talk about how radical true Christianity really is, because it does always have, right, an off-ramp to grace or on-ramp. I don't know which ramp we're doing here on the metaphor, but but it's towards people that we all have some, in fact, that's what my quote's about today a little bit, but we all have somebody that we don't want to get grace.
I think I'm that somebody for some people, John.
I think you're that somebody for me.
This is awkward.
That's why I don't want you to have it, just not now.
John, you know what I want you to have?
What's that?
A word from a few of our fine sponsors. Did you like that segue?
That was flawless. You can really tell we've turned into pros.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's
Kidding
only
me?
been 390 episodes.
Took us this long to figure it out.
Do you realize I can't think of many things that have 390 hours worth of content?
It's not been full hours this last few. We've kind of shaved it down to 45ers, maybe some couple of 38ers.
Okay.
But yes, it's a lot of time. It's a long time to talk.
It is. Do you ever worry we're going to run out of things to say?
I think it's already.
I don't worry about repeating stories as much because
what are you
sometimes
gonna
it's
do?
like, I learned that.
Can they remember we told the
right,
story?
being a pastor, I'm like, don't have the guys. If you're in ministry out there,
Yeah.
learn from the old guy who's telling you that you don't have to worry about repeating things all the time because they don't remember everything you said.
Nobody cares.
No.
We believe you care, dear listener.
Yeah.
But you also give us grace because you're like, oh, I've heard this, but I hope they tell it again. Maybe
Yeah.
another little detail will emerge.
By the way, somebody asked about the parking lot beanie.
Yeah.
The last
That's right.
episode.
And you said you thought you had it with you, but you didn't.
I have it right here.
Look at that.
Right here. But
Parking lot beanie lives.
it got
John's
left.
a poor person.
I left it somewhere the other day.
Oh, and
After that.
panic.
Yeah, and I
Said
ran
it.
back in, and it was gone.
You're like, my baby.
that was my panicked breathing. And I ran back in, and I couldn't find it, but the waitress had it. And she had been running out the door trying to find me. Like,
Yeah.
It was like a movie. It was like an old Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have the beanie still. So
you're buying a $5,000 generator, but you need a trash
it wasn't
beanie.
$5,000. It was $1,500. Yeah, it was way more than it was like $1,200.
But that's, a generator is.
It was like
I'm surprised you found one, honestly.
Well, I got there. There were guys like me.
Did you have to wrestle it from somebody?
Give it to me. There were guys like me hovering on the phone
while they brought
because we're all trying to go, okay. Because me and Claude are having lots of conversations. Okay,
nobody wants to hear this, John, about your conversation with AI. What are you doing?
Well, because hey, Claude, how many watts does a refrigerator pull, or whatever,
okay.
And then I'm doing the math in my head.
But you always say that Claude makes stuff up. You're about to electrocute yourself.
Chat makes stuff up.
You don't think Claude
Grok definitely makes stuff up.
You don't think Claude is being corrupted?
Claude is the least of the evils in terms of accuracy.
Am I speaking to Claude right now?
Claude's listening.
Have you been assimilated into the Borg?
Claude is more trainable.
Claude would never lie to us.
He would never.
Not a sponsor.
And Johnny's about that time, though.
Oh, let's do it.
It's my quote of the week. It's a segment we call They Talked About That. I'm going Clive Staples. I don't even care.
Clive Staples Lewis.
Can't beat it. He says, if anyone thinks that Christians regard unchastity as the supreme vice, he is quite wrong. The sins of the flesh are bad, but they are the least bad of all sins. All the worst pleasures are purely spiritual. The pleasure of putting other people in the wrong, of bossing and patronizing and spoiling sport and backbiting, the pleasures of power, of hatred. For there are two things inside me, competing with the human self, which I must try to become. They are the animal self and the diabolical self. The diabolical self is the worst of the two. That is why a cold, self-righteous prig who goes regularly to church may be far nearer to hell than a prostitute. But of course, it is better to be neither.
Wow, that's good. I've talked about that before when I do churches on Sunday. I say that I think that self-righteousness is a bigger problem in the church than unrighteousness. Because unrighteous people at least know they need a savior. You can't reach a self-righteous person. They don't know they need the life preserver. They're like, I'm good, and they're drowning.
Well, people always ask me in ministry, what's the unforgivable sin, right? What does it mean to blaspheme the Holy Spirit and all these things?
They want to know who's in and who's out. That's the thing. We don't know what that circle is. And make sure we're on the inside.
Well, but most people, to me, blaspheming the Holy Spirit is not just speaking against the Holy Spirit. I think there's two things. I think one, it's attributing the work of God to the enemy. Mm-hmm. One, saying, I'm not even sure that's what blaspheming the Holy Spirit means, but I think that's one way to speak really badly against you. You're calling the things of God evil, right? Yeah. You're saying kindness is bad and evil, right? You're saying empathy is bad and evil. I'm not calling that blasphemy, but
it's in the ballpark. It's in the spirit of it.
It's completely against anything scriptural, But I think the other thing, though, the more practical side of that is the only way to not receive grace is to not receive grace. Meaning you never come around to the place where you admit
die
that you
in that
need
rejection
it.
of it.
Right.
Yeah.
You say, I don't need that. I don't want that. That's not for me.
Right.
And so I think this idea, this is pretty, I think, scandalous what he's saying.
Yeah, and it's pretty crazy to say it when he said it too.
Right.
When everybody was moralizing, and even more so then than now, even the idea of moralizing and judgmentalism of prostitution. He mentions prostitution, he mentions sins of the flesh, and he was saying most of the worst ones are pride, thinking that you're better than another person, or
well, it's I always tell my friends in recovery who are drug addicts or whatever, when I was going through, was the things that you are recovering from are not even listed in the Bible. Mm-hmm. Alcoholism would have been, but we didn't have heroin or whatever at this point. The principle's there, I get it. Right. But it's not mentioned. But the things I'm in recovery for, 3 or 4 of them are on the list of things that God hates. My pride, the suspicious eyes, the way I see the world. One of the things that I came out of recovery with, they said worry is not responsibility. Worry is sin. When you start thinking about just worrying being sin, but in the sense of, again, you have to identify or not redefine sin, but most people think of sin as the stuff that C.S. Lewis just talked about, right? Oh, sin is when you consciously make this choice to do this thing, as opposed to the condition of sin, right? In the fallenness of the world,
Right.
being something that you really can't escape from. You wake up in a cloud every day. You're in the cloud, and you're breathing in the things that are in that cloud. And so that's why we need a Savior constantly, not just to save us from this committed, intentional thing, but also the state of it. And I think when sin gets boiled down to just the things we do and not the place that we live, the fallenness around us, and I'm not dismissing the things that we do or saying those things don't matter. I'm just saying you can go all day today and not do any of those things that you're worried about doing and still not be free from sin because it's a much bigger problem than just your choices, or we wouldn't have needed a Savior. You can't get it through commandments, by obeying everything. Yeah,
we were talking on the road this weekend. One of the other comics is looking to buy like a taser for his wife. They live in New York City, and he was like, I'm trying to buy a handheld taser. And then he goes, well, you got to get close to somebody to do that, and you don't want to be close. That's the idea. So then you got to remember that you have it. You got to remember how to use it so you don't accidentally tase yourself. Like, It's a lot. He was like, I would tell her to get pepper spray too. And then he started talking about pepper spray as like, but you don't want to ever use it in a confined area like a subway car, because you've pepper sprayed everybody. Like, even if you hit your mark, it consumes the entire area. Now if you're in an elevator, so it's like, I think that's what happens sometimes. We think we're prescribing justice. We're going to like deliver it. But we realize that like we've changed the entire area. You got to know you're doing the right thing. You've now changed the room with this thing that you may have missed the mark on or whatever. It's like, I don't know. It just made me think. And also it made me think, do I need to get a taser? Like that's the other thing it made me think. Do I need a taser now? Well,
I mean, I think it's by the way, my wife showed me this video, and it was from like a middle school basketball game, I think.
Yeah.
And there's these two guys calling the game somewhere in the South.
Okay.
And so they're on the radio or the TV or the YouTube channel or whatever. They're calling the game. And
oh, yeah.
Have you seen this?
And he's so calm, too.
And they're like, they know all the people.
Yeah.
Because it's a small town or whatever.
It's middle school.
Yeah. And so they know them, and they're calling, and like the police are there, the whole deal. And I think, I'm sorry, honey, you told me the story, but it was something to the effect of that one of the moms went out, did something, and got pushed by one of the coaches or something. And so then the dad comes out of the stands because now they're hurting the kid that the mom came to help, and now they're pushing the mom. And
the first part of the video is just kids falling into frame, and then everything starts happening.
Yeah.
So you don't really know what set it all off. You just know that like now it's chaos, and the guy goes, "This game's over." They kept saying, "This game,
we got to get this game.
We got to get out of here."
Yeah. And then they were like, "What was the guy's name?"
Ryan.
Ryan just got tased.
Now they've tased Ryan. This game's over. But he says it so calm, like, "Yep, foul on the play."
Just tased Ryan. I think tasing. By the way, Ryan went down like a sack of dirt.
And the guy just kind of walked up to him and did it. It was like, I wanted to see did he swing on him? What happened? And he was like, nope, you're going down. I was like,
done.
What, did he say something?
It was crazy because, again, you lose all control of your limbs and everything, obviously.
I think if you had a tase, that's the hard thing about like gun culture and taser culture, if there is a taser culture, is like once you have the thing, you're saying it's to protect you, but then a male brain starts being like, it's like the generator. Now you're almost looking for an excuse to use it.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, part of it's like, I'm protecting myself from this horrible thing, but also you start having these weird, like, again, I'm not a gun guy, so people are going to shout, try to clap me down, but I know a lot of gun guys that their fantasy is being able to use this gun.
No, I mean...
Their fantasy is like, something will happen, I'll be in Burger King, somebody will come and try to rob the place, I'll save the day. You go, hey, just order your burger, dude. Like,
yeah.
And again, I'm glad for those people if it does happen. Okay, I'm glad there's a lot of things that have been stopped by a good guy with a gun. I get all that. But it's like, I've known a lot of people that should not have guns, and they almost have like a fantasy with it. So I think that's what happened. This taser guy was like, It's this is my time. This is my time.
No, and I think one of the things, because I have a handgun permit, and all the things. I think one of the questions
you took training and stuff. Though.
I did.
It wasn't just like after the new law where everybody can have one in Tennessee.
That's correct. I already had it, and I keep renewing it. Mine's lifetime now.
Oh, so, well, John.
I think one of the questions that
even when your vision goes and your mind goes, you're going to be able to look.
Again, in Tennessee,
lifetime.
Anybody can have it anyway.
Sheesh.
But I think that one of the questions you should have to answer is, do you ever want to use this firearm? Because anyone I know, to your point, who is a good guy with a gun hopes they never, ever have to use it.
Right. They're not like, I can't wait for this to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, I sound ignorant because, I'm not a guy who ever went out to go get a gun, and I'm just not excited by guns. And I get that we need, even hunting and stuff I used to have such an issue with, but now I realize, okay, wow, if we didn't have people that harvest these deer, they would just be running around and getting, the traffic would just be, you just be hitting deer every 5 minutes because it's just too many. I get it. So I get that some ideas are a little backwards, but also I do know a lot of people who are they can't wait for their moment to do this weird, revenge fantasy on the world, or they hope the apocalypse happens so they can be the only prepared one.
I do think about, because we have to prepare for things in a church world.
Yeah.
And we have security measures and all those things in place. But there is that thought, if there was a gunman, that I think about all the other people who will suddenly become gunmen to try to stop the gunman.
Yeah.
And how dangerous that I'd rather have them in that moment. But
they've never shot it before.
And that's what they do teach you in the classes. Yeah. They're like, look, in a moment where you're really having to use this, even trained officers and soldiers and others with a handgun in particular, they hit their mark maybe 10%.
Right.
It's a 90% miss
in a
rate.
moment where it's tension now.
You're shaking.
Your adrenaline's
You're
going.
basically in shock. And so it's not like you just can't grab your faculties, and be able to say anyway.
I hate when people grab my faculties. John, I don't know how this ended up on a gun conversation from your quote, but it's a good quote. I like the idea of what we think of as being the deadliest sins or whatever. We don't really know. It's the thing is we have to admit there's a mystery to God, and some of the things that really tick us off and that we focus on when we really look in the scriptures, you go, man, I wonder why God didn't focus on this as much as we are. We kind of, sometimes we feel like we lose our way sometimes in the weeds.
And I think that the part for me is that the thoughts and the language matter to God. Think about what the Bible says in James about the person who can control their tongue is in control of their entire life.
Yeah.
Basically, their whole body.
And I would say now that would extend to keyboard.
Yeah.
You control your keyboard. Because now we don't talk as much. There's things we say on the keyboard we would never say in person.
Well, I think
but it does as much damage or more.
Even more so, yeah.
And it's forever.
But your communication, what comes out of you,
yeah.
That's what even Jesus said, is what comes, I know people make a joke of this, but it's what comes out of a person that defiles them.
Yeah.
What he's saying is look, what you actually say is the thing that matters, right? And that's why I'll tell Sadie all the time, and I was counseling someone the other day, and they were really struggling. I was like, well, you don't know all the thoughts inside that I don't act on. And I was like, that's great. Having temptations is not a sin. When you don't act on them, then you won. That's what you're supposed to do. Yes. Should you struggle? Should you try not to think on those things or whatever?
Yeah.
But when someone was doing something to you and you had horrible thoughts and you chose something different, then what came out of you was the right thing, because of course we all are tempted to do those things. But I always tell, you probably heard me say this before, but specifically when it comes to cuss words, which is a big Christian thing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not pro cuss word, okay? But
you're a pro at it.
But the idea that we curse people by just using colloquialisms or slang,
right,
versus actually, as he says, bossing, patronizing, putting people in the wrong, spoiling sport, backbiting, power, hatred, almost all those are worthless without words. They wouldn't work without words.
Gossip is not delicious without words.
No.
The reason gossip is so prevalent is because it's yummy.
Proverbs says it's a tasty morsel. Yeah.
I don't know. There's a way to paint yourself in a good light by tearing somebody down in private, and it's a problem. It's a problem for a lot of people, and they think they're in the right because they go, "Well, look, this isn't real. It is real."
Well, that's why I try to surround myself with friends because I really don't trust myself, and there's some things I've been going through lately, or talking about lately, and you're on this list of people that I trust that I've said to you today, if you see me going down a path here that I shouldn't go down, how would I know? Someone's got to, I told my other buddy today, I was like, dude, punch me in the stomach a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, someone wake me up, because I'm doing the best I can, but my best, I've learned, is not
If
the
you
best.
put T-shirts on your website that have, I'm going to call you out. Be like, why is John selling?
What t-shirts that say what?
They'll have swastikas on them. I'll be like, you know what? I think John's lost his way.
That would be.
But then if you issue an apology, I'll read that apology
Right.
on the pod, and then we'll try to get you.
But did he refund the money for the t-shirts?
Interesting. Who knows?
Did we
Let's
make
see. He's like, well, it's already spent, really.
Yeah.
We don't know the overhead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
John, let's do my segments. Let's start with Johnny's old jokes. We call it Joke About That. I heard this one. I don't have it written down, but I heard this one at the comedy club the other night. I was doing my Johnny and Friends show, which is coming up February 18th.
Oh.
My last one. I've been doing a monthly run, but the last one's coming up February 18th at the Lab at Saney's. So get those tickets. There's only 100 seats. They usually sell out. Come say hello, and if you're a listener to the show and you are in the Nashville area, that'll be a good one. I try out new material a lot on those shows. They're fun. But I was at the last one, and my buddy Dan Whitehurst was there, and we were talking about old jokes, and he said he heard this one, and it was a guy's at a job interview, and he said, well, there's a pretty big gap. There's a 4-year gap in this resume. Can you talk about that? And he goes, oh, I went to Yale. And they go, oh, well, okay, that's pretty good. And he goes, well, let me write that down. That puts you in you're pretty much in. I didn't know that. And he was like, oh, thank goodness, I really need this job.
That's good.
It's pretty good. I love it. John, a man tells his doctor, ever since you prescribed me those sleeping pills, I've been able to relax, finally. The doctor responds, glad to hear. You're only taking one per night, right? And he goes, oh, I'm not taking them. I've been giving them to my wife. All right, guys, listen, that's a joke. Please don't give your wife, don't poison your wife.
People. We do not endorse poisoning
come on.
of any sort.
And finally, John, a final exam. To become the detective, the chief commissioner gathers the 3 remaining candidates and presents them with a final test. They must look at a suspect's mugshot for just a few seconds and then explain how they would recognize that suspect in a crowd. The first candidate comes in, the commissioner shows him the photo, and after a moment he says, it's easy. The suspect has only one ear and one eye, so he's easy to spot. The commissioner says, are you stupid? That's a side photo. Get out of here. Second guy comes in, sees the photo, and after a few seconds, it's easy. The suspect has one ear, one eye, so he's easy to distinguish in a crowd. The commissioner says, you're an idiot too. Get out of here. The third enters. The commissioner warns him, be careful because the others were really unqualified. He shows the photo to the third candidate, who thinks for a moment and says, the suspect wears contact lenses. The commissioner is amazed because he doesn't even remember if the suspect actually wore contact lenses, so he goes to check the records. He confirms it's true. Then he returns to the candidate and says, congratulations, you're a detective. I just have to ask, how did you know that he wore contact lenses? The candidate replies, well, with only one ear and one eye, it's hard to wear glasses.
That's great.
I love a good stupid guy joke. Something about it. That's one I'd never heard.
I identify with the stupid guy jokes.
I went to Yale. That's so funny. John, let's do This Week in History. We call it Talk About Then. John, this week, 1930, an invention that you may use every day. Scotch tape.
Okay.
It's a big one. 3M markets Scotch tape. It was created by 3M engineer Richard Drew, who had created masking tape in 1925. This guy was...
Wow, this is a real... He's the tape Jedi.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unbelievable. There's a guy who does this, our friend Paul Aldrich does a song about duct tape. It's all about how duct tape has all these uses. Mm-hmm. And he says there's a dark side and a light side. So it's like the force that holds everything together. So what you said, he really is a Jedi if he invented. Anyway, because duct tape has a dark side and a light side. Anyway, he created masking tape in 1925. Then he made a transparent version of it in 1930. The tape dispenser was developed by 3M engineer John Borden in 1932. So there was 2 years where you had to just pick at the roll.
Like a peasant.
Yeah. Those were the dark ages of tape.
They really were. I mean, do you have, when you can't find the edge of a tape,
it is.
There's nothing more frustrating.
Yeah. And I don't have nails. I bite my nails, so I got nothing. I got to have help.
Yeah.
I got to phone a friend.
Do you try to see it or feel for it?
Both. I'm trying to dig around, but again, no nails.
Yeah.
It's a disaster.
I tell you, we talk about the real issues here. Don't talk about that. This is, guys, if you're out there.
I wonder why it was called Scotch tape. It doesn't say. I wonder why it was
I was going to ask you.
Because it has a little plaid logo there.
Yeah.
And so, or the paisley, whatever it is, the little Scotch.
They buy their tape by the hundreds and thousands.
Oh, look at me. Scotch tape. My photo fell down. I don't know. It's a really bad. That's stupid. I apologize to anybody. Mitch Hedberg, great comedian, used to have a bit about how he wanted to get a map of the world and then put pins everywhere he would visit. But he goes, but first I got to visit the four corners of the earth so that the map doesn't fall down.
That's good.
Mitch Hedberg, he shall be missed. John, this week is a Groundhog Day coming up, and there's a little history of Groundhog Day. If the groundhog sees his shadow on February 2nd, expect 6 more weeks of winter. We know that. The tradition derives from the Pennsylvania Dutch superstition that if a groundhog emerging from its burrow on this day sees its shadow due to clear weather, it will retreat to its den, and winter will go on for 6 more weeks. If it does not see its shadow because of cloudiness, spring will arrive early. They brought the tradition from Germany, substituting a groundhog for the German tradition of a badger. Did not know that.
Badger
So
Day.
in Germany, it was Badger Day. And the tradition itself may be derived from the lore that clear weather on the Christian festival of Candlemas, which I did not know was a thing, forebodes a prolonged winter. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, began its annual celebration in 1887. I did not know that had gone on that long. That's a long time for Punxsutawney Phil, which it now features. I don't know when Punxsutawney Phil got entered into, but Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania has been celebrating annually 1887 and on. John, this week, finally, 2016, did not know this story. This is a wild one. This is one of those, like, the punishment kind of fits the crime stories. A terrorist was sucked out of a plane that he was trying to hijack. A suicide bomber set off a bomb in Dalian Airlines Flight 159 20 minutes after it took off from Mogadishu, Somalia, en route to Djibouti City. The bomb created a hole in the side of the plane, which sucked out the bomber. Several others were injured, but the bomber was the only one killed. So he's trying to blow up the plane.
What?
He sucked out when the explosion of the bomb.
It was a suicide bomber?
Yeah, he was a suicide bomber.
Wasn't the bomb
but he was
already-
trying to kill everybody on the plane.
But wasn't the bomb attached to him? Wouldn't the bomb have killed him before he was sucked out of the plane?
I'm trying to look. Hold on. I think the bomb was placed somewhere near
so
him.
he didn't have it on his
Yeah,
person.
and he wasn't killed by the bomb, evidently. He was killed by the hole, and he was sucked out of the hole, is what this led me to believe. It's believed that the bomb was timed to go off when the plane was in mid-flight at a higher altitude, but the plane had been delayed, causing the bomb to go off before the plane could reach cruising altitude. If it had gone off at cruising altitude when the plane was fully pressurized, it would have killed all on board, likely.
Wow.
So next time your flight's delayed, be like,
hey,
maybe we don't know what we're being.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to take a minute, look at the shiny tree limbs around you and be like, hey,
This is,
by being stuck in this house with all these crazy kids.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Can I tell you
Just
something?
trying to
I had to
find
book some flights the other day.
Yeah.
I'm confused now.
By flights? By the air travel?
Southwest has changed everything.
Oh, sure. Yeah. It's in chaos.
I'm trying to figure out if I have to pay for the bag or not.
No, you do. Unless you have the Southwest card.
I
Now
do.
you get one free.
I do.
If you have the card, you get one free.
Well, I had to book some Delta
I
flights.
still get 2 free because I'm elite status. It's whatever.
Elite status. I want to go sit in one of the airport lounges.
Oh, have you never?
No. No, I've had some.
Southwest is building lounges.
I had a meeting in an airport lounge for a book one time.
Pretty good feeling.
I did not get the
How
book.
did you get in though? If you're not did they have a voucher?
So this is a Robert Wolgemuth story.
Yeah.
My agent who just passed away.
Yeah.
It was just an amazing guy. We were meeting a guy in Nashville airport. He took me to the counter and he got me a pass to just go through security,
Right.
but not to get on a plane.
Uh-huh.
And then we went in and had the meeting inside.
But to get in the lounge, they have another voucher that you have to use. Because I get like 5 a year or
I think
something. He might have unlimited.
If I remember correctly, when we walked in the door, they were like,
Right
welcome
this
back,
way.
Mr. Wolgemuth.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure. Sometimes you scan your ticket and they know your name from the
I think
ticket.
they
You
do.
think even before the ticket
I
is
would
scanned.
go places with him, and he was the kind of guy that they knew who he was.
I don't know if I want to be that guy. There's things appealing about it, but then there's like, oof.
Yeah.
Because then, like, if you
If you get in the lounge, I'm fine with it.
Like Dave Ramsey used to talk about that, about how he tips 30% at every meal, even if the service is bad, because he doesn't want everybody to have a Dave Ramsey story. Even if the service is awful, he would like to send them a message of being like, well, this is not tippable. But he said, I can't have somebody be like, Dave Ramsey's a terrible tipper. So everybody's going to get at least 30% from Dave Ramsey.
Wow.
And it's true. You get to a level of fame where it's like, you're going to have a Meryl Streep story. If you see her yelling at her kid in car line at school, now everybody thinks Meryl Streep is a monster. So you have to be on your best behavior at all times.
That's why, again, I keep myself under the radar, and I can act like a monster.
You can yell at your kid.
Nobody has to know.
You can see John at your local car line screaming at a 17-year-old.
I do have those fearful fantasies of getting right up on someone, being upset in traffic, and then we all pull into the same church.
Oh, yeah.
On a Sunday morning.
Sure.
I think that happened to me one time.
Oh, boy.
I don't think I was like major, but I was frustrated.
Yeah.
And then we all pull in and I'm about to go preach the message.
And won't that preach? Sometimes you're mad at the person and they're going to the same place as you. Heaven. We hope we're all going to heaven.
Yeah.
You're going to have a pretty weird
maybe you ought to just calm down.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's a lesson you need to take to heart for yourself, I think. That's one of those.
No, I felt like that was for everybody else. But,
okay. That's fine, too.
I don't really take things to heart for me because I don't really need them. You know what I'm saying?
I think somebody's about to get sucked out of their own plane, if you know what I mean. John's got a bomb meant for other people, and sometimes...
It's a weird metaphor.
He's headed to Djibouti City.
It's a stretch. It's a stretch, really. So.
Okay. Well, yeah. I thought that was a great show. I don't know
how you felt. Okay. Hey, thanks for the new mic. If you're watching on YouTube right now.
Mayono, not a sponsor, but could be.
Jonnie bought me a mic.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
Yeah. I think it's good quality.
All I bought you was a burger today. By the way.
Yeah.
Those burgers at Cheddar's.
It's a good burger.
That was an unbelievable burger.
Why isn't Cheddar's on board?
Yeah. I mean, I don't eat a lot of burgers.
We need a restaurant sponsor because we meet and eat right before every show. That should be built in.
It was their cheapest burger, too.
That's true.
It was huge.
Well, they have the kids' burger. That's cheap.
Sorry.
But you're not really supposed to order that if you're...
But the bread was kind of toasted around the edges. Did you catch that?
A little seared bun?
You were barely eating yours, and I sucked mine down like I was a starving man.
I love a good seared bun. I'm just craving the beach right now because I'm so cold. I'm like, I could be searing my buns somewhere. But no.
I really do want to go to the beach.
You'll get there.
I don't know.
It just takes a lot of money. You got money? No, you spend it on a generator.
Spend it on a generator. But I did keep my family.
Facebook Marketplace, sell the generator, Cancun.
Actually, my neighbor got this done, and I'm about to have it done. Did you know you can easily have someone come wire your house with a little extra panel where you just plug your generator right into the side, and then you just pick which
pick which ones you want to run.
Which of the circuit breakers.
And which family members you want to leave in the cold.
That's right.
You're like, hey, maybe you should have been nicer at dinner.
Maybe I just moved your circuit breaker. Yeah. Circuit breaker.
It's a lot of control.
Yeah.
John's making a little Death Star at the house. Sheesh.
How much easier, though, than running all those cords and cables?
Well, it doesn't sound easy. You go, it's an easy panel. Add an extra panel. It's probably thousands of dollars.
No, I heard it wasn't.
Really?
Well, my neighbor had it done for not that, I think.
I need to...
He told me it was reasonable. So,
well, we need to look into that.
These Generacs cost like $10,000.
We need a sponsor that's like one of those end of the world sponsors, like because I used to hear those commercials on Sports Talk Radio. And be like, these people with their.
But now
you're like, I need
a little go bag.
Maybe I need to
bury some gold in the backyard.
Give me a taser.
Maybe get my brother who lives in Texas, Wes, who's a mutual friend. Of yours as well.
Yes, love Wes.
Wes was reminding me that my dad. He
had a go bag?
Well, when Y2K came, Dad took it very seriously.
The Y2K bag.
Yeah. Wasn't just a bag. No.
Oh, it was like a crate.
Oh, Dad had lots of things. Wes reminded me that Dad had 2 55-barrel drums of gasoline.
I do remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
Which that's a lot. You have explosives on your...
It's a lot of gas.
Yeah.
And then he had...
Be outside smoking, talking about it. Man, you think it's a myth? I think it's going to happen? Man. These computers are crazy. No, he didn't smoke.
You know what we were doing on Y2K?
No.
We were playing a show in Oak Ridge, Tennessee.
At a mall?
Yeah.
It was like a late night at a mall.
Didn't they have generators and stuff in case it all went out? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a full circle moment right there for the show.
And then nothing happened, and here we are.
Yeah. Were you disappointed?
I think again,
it's a little bit of chaos.
I think it's the same thing as the gun thing. It's like you sort of go, well, we did all this. You feel a little foolish if you never get to use your generator that you had or you had all these. And I'll be the prepared one. I'm the one who...
But you don't want to be the generation that cried Y2K. And then when it really happens...
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta...
The people who cried Y2K. There were books. There were experts. There were Y2K experts. It's like a whole cottage industry of people who were making money on the fear of this thing. And then when it didn't happen, it's like...
Oops.
Guess I'll get a job at Lowe's. I don't know what you do after that. You just
but
go.
those people took your money from the books and
Yeah.
lived
There were
well.
crop circle people that were like, crop circles? And then you found out, oh, it's hoax. There's like 5 guys, and this is how they pull off the hoax of crop circles. It's not aliens. And then you're like, oh, I wrote a whole book about why it has to be aliens.
I do have to say this.
You think crop circles are real?
Some of them.
Oh.
I don't know what they are, but...
No, I'm saying like they were all faked. There's like
all crop
documented.
circles are fake?
Yeah.
This is news
They're
to
like
me.
very fake. But
Okay.
I mean, again, there's going to be websites that say that that's been debunked too, and that
Now, you're going to roll your eyes at this.
Okay, sure.
But do you ever watch The Curse of Oak Island? He rolled his eyes. So they, at first...
You think this is aliens?
No.
Okay.
No.
Alien gold?
They have like real archaeologists now on the show.
Okay.
In the beginning, they don't think they had the real ones, but it's gotten so much. It's like 12 seasons in.
But they haven't found a lot.
They found lots.
Oh, okay.
They've not found a lot of treasure per se.
Right.
But
because buried treasure is kind of one of those things too that's a myth too, about like pirates burying
Well, they
treasure
know
and
that-
making a map to it.
so
A lot of them spent their treasure.
the deal with this,
they're pirates.
and this is where you're going to, it's not really pirate treasure.
Oh, okay.
This is where I was rolling my eyes for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
While you watch 6 seasons.
They think it is the Knights Templar.
Oh,
who
okay.
brought things from Europe during the Crusades, basically, to store priceless religious treasures, basically.
Right. This is getting
in
into some
North
Da Vinci
America.
Code stuff.
Which that's what I would think. But they have found, I'm going to say hundreds, thousands of archaeologically verified things from anywhere from the 1200s all the way to like the 1700s.
Okay.
Before the discovery of whatever the first little pit was they were doing. I'm talking, there's a swamp.
Yeah.
And when they dig in it and drain it, they have found huge road systems built in the
Oh, wow.
swamp.
So you think there's like a
Ox shoes,
society?
And they found all these chains. Something heavy was pulled through. It's on this small little tiny island. They found Roman coins, a bunch of Roman coins, a bunch of British coins from the 1700s, a bunch of like that's the deal. And then underground, this is the crazy part, 200 feet underground, this was in one of the early seasons, they found human bone.
Yeah.
And they used the science to trace it to like 13th, 14th century. One of the bones was from Europe and one was from Africa.
Yeah.
Or the Middle East. And like of their genetic descent. So like you don't get somebody's bone 200 feet underground. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Johnny? So I believe like...
There's stuff we don't know.
And I do believe there was a Knights Templar. And they'll bring real scholars on, and this
Yeah.
is what they've not. This is what really turns me a little bit. Is I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then they'll sit with some historian who has spent their whole PhD career studying the Knights Templar or whatever, and they're going, no, here's their, and they travel to Europe too, and they'll go to like, here's the prison where they locked up the Knights Templar, and here's the symbols they put on the wall. It's all there.
Yeah.
But it's all so mysterious sounding. It's been like, and it's intentional. It's a secret society, but it's like you don't know what to shrug off.
You're right.
And want to go, well, these were real people. I just don't know what all that they
I just
did.
want to be invited into a secret society.
You know, just once.
Nobody.
Yeah, like the Masons never approached me.
No one's ever.
I don't know. Maybe we're just not.
Comedy is the closest thing I have to a secret society of like people who do the same thing, and they're like, but we don't. We're all like jealous of each other, and we don't share.
You know, I don't really have any writer friends.
Yeah.
That's not true. I have friends that write, but I usually write for them or whatever, or with them. I don't have anybody that does what I do per se. Very few like collaborator friends.
The Rights Templar, because it's WRITES. I apologize to end the show on that note.
No, I liked it.
John's in a secret society of writers.
Maybe we need like a secret podcast society.
We need a secret knock, I think, if you're going to have a lifetime carry permit into your 80s. I'm going to come knocking at your door one day and you're just going to blow a hole in it. Yeah. Oh, they're here. I'll be like, no, I need like a secret. Dun, 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 dun. It needs something like.
If my mind begins to go, I'll give you permission to disarm me. Good luck with that.
At my peril. Good grief. You heard it here first.
There you go. So,
well, all right.
Hey, guys, that was a lot of fun. Don't forget to visit talkaboutthatpodcast.com where you can hear more episodes from the past. Also, you should go check out JonnieW.com.
Tour dates dropping on the reg.
Oh, my goodness.
We probably have 60 or 70 public shows already on the calendar for this year. We're probably coming at least within driving distance of you, if not to your very back door.
The least you could do
Yes.
Just get in the car and go see Jonnie.
What's so hard about this?
I don't understand why you're so resistant to it.
Why is everybody turning red for and getting upset?
Yeah. Like, hey, we hear you. Stop yelling.
Yeah.
Actually, we can't hear you.
We don't know.
You're
For all we know, you
wasting-
don't even have power and you're doing one of those hand crank radios.
Yeah.
To get
Right now, you're just hoping that somebody out there is...
And now I'm scolding you. I apologize. But it'd be nice to see you out there on the road, and we love to see I love to see podcast listeners on the road at my shows. It's so fun. They always ask where you are. They think we're roommates, I think. And we're not.
We will be together on at least a couple of those dates.
Yeah, John's going to come in on the tour.
Yeah.
So, hey, maybe that'll be you.
Yeah.
Van Wert, Ohio, or wherever.
You
I
never
am
know.
coming to Van Wert.
Van Wert. I didn't even know that was a place.
It's a
in Ohio.
place, buddy.
There you go.
And I'm going there. Good luck. Good luck finding it. No, it's going to be great. We'll see you soon, Van Wert. But yeah, find your city on that show calendar, JohnnyW.com. Buy those tickets, and I'll see you there. I'm bringing some of my funny friends. These shows are going to be very exciting. The Live and Laughing tour. I wanted Dead and Weeping.
Yeah.
But they were like, what about Live and Laughing? I go, all right, fine. So
Your
come see
idea
us.
can work, I guess.
I guess so too.
Well, guys, thanks for the time you gave us today. Let's do it again next week, everyone.
Talk about that.